Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at Apex 2019. I'm on the Scoop studio with Michael Ford from Aegis. Michael, great to see you. We've talked at length about different issues in the supply chain, and one that keeps coming up is counterfeit and conflict materials, but particularly counterfeit at the moment when there's so much component shortages. Something that you've constantly looked at, we've talked about different ways, but you're looking at some new ways of managing that.
Yes, we are, because there was a report out, some people are talking about, where the military had found up to 15% of their entire supply chain is now suspected as being counterfeit. And, seeing those kind of figures, you've got to wonder, what is it like for the people making our driverless cars or aeroplanes and things like that? So it's becoming a really, really serious issue. And the kind of technology of today has focused on making sure that the products that people make will not have severe defects in them as a result of counterfeit. So we're x-raying, we're doing manual inspection, and those kind of things happen. But that is doing nothing at all to stop the flow of counterfeit. In fact, people are just getting away with it and making money. So we're now looking together with IPC to extend the concept of traceability from the assembly area where we already have it with 1782, but to extend that up the supply chain such that we can always have a provenance of material, such that if any material is found, we can then guarantee that we can find the person responsible for that.
Okay, and the kind of technologies you're using to do that, I think you mentioned to me before that you're using blockchain. It's a buzzword in the industry, but actually finding good applications for it is important. And I know the diamond industry, for example, is using blockchain quite heavily, and Walmart recently announced a big partnership with IBM to push blockchain throughout their supply chain for food safety, and it's a similar challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, the problem is that it's not just materials that can be counterfeit. People can counterfeit data.
Right.
And so blockchain, to me, it's no more or less secure than anything else. That's not the issue at all. It's about the ability for it to be tampered with. So if you go into a meeting with 100 people and they all take notes in that meeting, you then get all the notes together, because it's like a blockchain. You get all the notes together, but you notice that 99 say one thing, but one says another. That one has been, let's call it, hacked, and so the information was changed. But you know that you've got more than 50% saying one thing, and it disagrees with this one, so we'll ignore that one. That's how blockchain works. You've got a public key such that it's almost impossible to hack all 100 copies of that, and in reality it can be thousands. So it's impossible to get into all of those systems and change the data all in the same way. So that's kind of how the tamper-proof element comes along. So you can put design information, you can put material information, you can put the transactions of material as it comes in with tamper-proof labeling, tamper-proof packaging, such that then you can do that provenance. So blockchain is an interesting technology, but when people begin to understand what it is, it's actually quite simple.
Yeah, in simple terms, it's the idea of a distributed ledger, isn't it? So the idea that we all have a shared ledger. There are a few challenges with blockchain, one of which is power consumption, but there seems to be some technologies that are starting to aid that. Are there those concerns in the supply chain?
The question is really scale. I mean, if you consider how many packages of materials are distributed through the world at any 1 minute, you begin to sense, this is going to be something quite serious.
Yeah.
And so we have to make a solution that is practical, achievable, and builds in value for not only the component manufacturer, but the distribution chain and the assemblers themselves.
Yeah. So what are IPC looking at? What's their role in this? Are they bringing together a collective to look at this as a strategy?
Yeah, we had a meeting here this week within the 1782 committee. We've had providers of the kind of ways of securely labeling things. There was one company that had embedded fibers that appeared as 3D kind of glowing images under UV. Packaging companies have been interested, blockchain providers have been interested. But actually the more interesting point is that, let's say, the more sensitive areas of manufacture, a lot of companies from that area are really now looking for this kind of solution, because they are experiencing real-life problems every day that actually the majority of companies are also experiencing, but they're not talking about. After all, if you were making a very popular product and people knew that there were counterfeits in the market, there would be loss of customer confidence, and that cannot happen. So this is like a hidden away problem that is becoming quite serious.
Yeah, and I think it's really serious. I mean, beyond the problem that you get with counterfeits in terms of functionality, there's literally dangers associated with counterfeit when we look at cables that have a shortage of copper in and just act as heaters and fuses instead of what they're meant to do. So it's a big challenge. In terms of the blockchain itself, are we bringing in partners from traditionally outside the industry? Because I haven't seen a blockchain provider kind of exhibit at Apex or kind of appear as part of our ecosystem just yet.
Yeah, we had two in our meeting. And they are relatively new. I mean, blockchain isn't horrifically complicated. Companies can set up their services. I think the main thing is going to be who will be the trusted suppliers of this blockchain. Is it going to happen for real? So we're going to find that there's going to be a great choice of providers. The big guys, I'm sure, are going to step in, and we'll have a choice from there.
Yeah, and that's when we see players like IBM and the likes get involved in our industry, which I think is fascinating and adds another dimension. Michael, thanks for stopping by to chat. I hope you've had a good show. A couple of hours left to go and see people, but we'll speak again soon.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.